I'm Jared Dillingham at this oasis in the desert Southwest, notoriously difficult to get to. Before you can set your eyes on Havasu Falls, you'll need to hike 11 miles. And before the hike, you'll need to buy a permit from the Havasupai Tribe. After picking up your permit and wristband, it's an hour drive up from historic Route 66 through the Hualapai and the Havasupai Reservations, where you'll have to be on the lookout for cattle and elk, especially at night. Your first destination is the Hualapai Hilltop parking lot. It's usually full, so you'll likely have to park alongside the road. The lot has a ranger office, but no services, no water, so bring all your water with you before leaving town. They do have a composting outhouse here. The sign says 8 miles to the village of Supai, 10 miles to the campground, but it's more like 11. The tribe does a great job maintaining the long series of switchbacks you'll hike down into the canyon. These will be the worst part of the hike back up in a few days. They sell around 100 permits a day, so the trail is never really crowded. The scenery is beautiful the whole way, aside from the trash people toss aside. The trail changes from packed sand to loose gravel, which can be a bit of a struggle to walk through. So the hike into Havasupai Falls is very pretty in itself. So our bags are about 40 pounds each. They're a bit heavier because of all the camera equipment and batteries that added to our total weight. Normally people try to come in with about a 30-pound bag, a 35-pound bag. Regardless of the weight, if that does not appeal to you, hiking 10 miles with 35 pounds on your back, there are ways to get around that, and one of them's coming around the corner right now. Mules have been a part of life for the Havasupai tribe for hundreds of years. There are no roads into the village of Supai, so the mules carry supplies in, which, if you look closely, you could see that includes Amazon deliveries these days. They also carry bags of tourists. For a few $100s, they'll carry 32 pounds of your gear round trip. Animal rights groups encourage hikers to carry their own things, saying the pack animals are mistreated. Years ago, posting disturbing photos of neglected mules, which also disturbed members of the tribe. Size and weight limits are in place, and hikers who choose this option have to reserve their mule way back when they book their reservation. The other option is a flight in on a helicopter, which the tribe also uses to haul supplies. This is less of a guarantee since the helicopter does not fly daily, and you cannot reserve a seat. You have to show up in the lot, sign up, and wait your turn. Personally, I loved the hike, the giant boulders and rock formations, and all the desert scenery. There is little to no water along the way. You may find a trickle from a spring, which you can drink if you have the right kind of filtered bottle. If you can, hold off until the 8-mile mark. That's when you catch your first glimpse of the more appetizing blue waters of Havasu Creek, which you'll follow through the village and into the campground. One thing I can't show you is the village of Supai because photography is strictly off limits there. I could tell you it's home to 500 or 600 people. They have a market, a church, a school with about 70 kids, grades K through 8, and they're building a pretty big medical center in town as well. The only vehicles in the village are ATVs, which are flown in pieces and assembled here. After the village, you have 2 miles left. And along the way, you'll pass Little Navajo Falls, which you can go back to visit later. At the end of the trail, Havasu Falls is the perfect welcome to the campground. And from here, you go find the perfect creekside spot to set up your camp. Couple things to keep in mind if you're planning a trip to Havasupai Falls in the future. It gets really hot in the summer. You'll run the risk of monsoon flooding by late June through the rest of the summer. And remember, during the winter it actually snows here, so keep all that in mind as you make your plans. I'll see you next time.